As I look upon the fields and cities of, oh, my great Rome, I can but imagine the life of which I will be responsible for. And shall I succeed in governing and expanding this empire, then, and only then, shall I have peace.
They shall know the sword, and they shall know my grandma. Anyway. Ik kan inte
I shall enslave them, make an example of them.
What am I saying? And it's basically a army that is so elite, so epic, so cool that no one will ever be able to stop it. It has a large battle was on the horizon, and then my game crashed.
But yeah, so this is the Roman Empire at when just after the Civil War, so very strong. I got a lot of these puppets, but literally everyone in this world hates me. So that's fun, but I mean it's fine. I don't think anyone has even a chance of challenging me. Yeah, I'm definitely much stronger than these losers. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
As there were lots of armies scattered around the empire, I began with uniting the armies of the north, then the armies around Antioch. I also started a Romanization project, mostly in Iberia and in Gaul, to try to integrate the new territories that apparently hasn't been Romanized yet. Then, a war with Judea became imminent as they attacked one of my allies, my puppets, and Romans will not allow that kind of treatment. I decided to make an example of Judea, that even if they are only conflicting with the interests of my great empire, then they shall know my wrath, they shall know the pain, they shall know the sword, and they shall know my grandma. Anyway. As I had almost reached Judea, a war with Galatia became imminent, as they attacked one of my tributary states, Pontus. Galatia was also a tributary state of mine, but I have to defend my allies, because Rome, I treat my friends good, and my enemies horribly. That's my protocol. If you ever slightly betray me, then I will never forget it. That's the Roman way. Anyways, so I had to declare war on Galatia to defend Pontus. Then Syracuse decided to attack Pontus too, and of course I had to defend them again. And at this point you feel like Pontus would be pretty appreciative, but as it turns out, when I got attacked by let me check my notes here, Beruse, then Pontus was like, you know what? No. How about no? So that was nice.
Bro, Pontus just... Bro, I defended them against two other factions. These guys and these guys. And then they just leave me. Bro. Oh hell nah. Screw him. Okay.
So apart from that whole ordeal, good news came from the south as Judea tried to sally out and attack my brave men, but of course failed horribly. And then I walked in, or wait, no. Did I attack them or did they attack me? Anyways, I took the city, that's the gist of it. So yeah, as Judea had fallen, I began to turn my eyes upon Galatia. As my army in Judea was, I mean Jerusalem, was very badly hurt from the conflict there, I had no choice but to let it rest for a couple of turns. And so I began to expand upon my army in Antioch to make another army on the eastern front. And I of course wanted to use it to defeat the Galatians, but the Galatians decided to strike first, of course, because the best defense is offense. Although it went pretty terribly for them. Because, I don't know, auto-resolve saved my ass this time.
Oh, I can actually win this.
And I didn't bother to play the
Just
thing.
sent your
So.
army to that. I would recommend it.
Alright, so for some reason my recording kind of just decided to end itself a bit later, so we missed some stuff, but I can recap it here. What happened? I began my epic march upon Iconium, then Iconium.
I
Yeah,
shall
I got it.
enslave them, make an example of them.
What am I saying? I just heard my recording cause what? Bro, did I say that? Okay, chill, Gardingi, chill. Anyways, so, but then they decided to plunder my city of Side, I don't know. So in response, I burned down Iconium, the city I'm marching on there, on the screen. So yeah, and then I began a little project I call the Final Army. Dun dun dun. And it's basically a army that is so elite, so epic, so cool that no one will ever be able to stop it. It has from Syria the elite Syrian archers, from Rome from the Senate, from the city of Rome itself, we have the wait, what's their name? Praetorian Guard and Praetorian Cavalry. Ta-da! Okay, I'm gonna shut up now. Now, the things are beginning to become interesting, as a large Galatian army attacked one of my other armies, the one from Judea. I forgot to say that. It came all the way up and attacked the capital, the last city of the Galatians. And a large battle was on the horizon. And then my game crashed, which is probably why the recording was gone for it. But I did it again, which you can see here, so no worries, it's all good. And a large and interesting battle will now commence. Wow. Right, so I decided to deploy my army in the traditional zigzag formation. I forgot what it's called, but you basically zigzag your units and allow them to get more flanky combat. I don't know. I decided to do that. Then I had my elite Syrian archers behind my troops because I believe that they never manage to run back if you have them in front of your troops. They just stand there, watch the enemy, and then when the enemy is like 5 feet in front of them, they're like, should we run? Maybe? Anyways, so I deployed my cavalry on the flanks, of course, and I realized that the enemy actually had a kind of a cavalry I forgot the word, but they didn't have a lot of cavalry. But here we have the army. Right, let's I should really stop talking like this. Anyways, so as the enemy began to close in upon my lines, I unleashed my artillery upon them. Epic montage. With the enemy charging at me, I managed to lure a bunch of them, almost the entire army, into a big pile in the middle, and then I began to cautiously move my troops to flank them and then surround them and destroy them, hopefully before the reinforcements could arrive. As the enemy troops in the center were already beginning to desert and flee, I felt confident enough to send in the cavalry on the left flank, which also resulted in the left flank collapsing. With my troops from the left flank converging upon the middle, the center, the enemy reinforcements, who had just begun to arrive at the battle, had no coordination, and thus it became pretty much a slaughter. And as the center began to collapse, the Galatian army shattered, and I decided to chase down the fragments of the enemy army to prevent a continued war. As I had only lost a couple of hundred men, the casualties for the Galatians were in the thousands, and then it was no problem taking their last stronghold, and thus once and for all ending their civilization. But now I had two free armies in Anatolia, which I planned on using maybe to get my revenge on the Pontosians. But that will be for the next episode. Bye!